Hey guys, how are you doing today? It's your girl, Miss Debs. I'm coming to you today with some breaking news. And for the breaking news, even though we're doing a happy, faithful Friday, I want to ask you guys, how are you getting along with the world today? Like, we all know, and I'm not coming up here because it's Faithful Friday. So we're giving honor to God. We're acknowledging Him. We're letting Him know that we love Him. We love what He stands for to get us through these hard times that we're going through today. So, how do you guys feel about what's going on in the world today? We hear all the news about Trump, the price of living, people trying to survive, trying to catch up with bills. What we're going through, the ins and the outs of the political arena. Prices are high, even though they say they're not, but they are. It's hard for us to almost make it out here in the world today. Economically wise, we're really going through it. Like I say, you go into the stores, it's not like it was 10 years ago. For that matter, it's not even like it was 5 years ago. You can go in the store and tell me who can relate to this. My mom used to send us to the corner store. I would say this was more than 5 or 10 years ago. Let's go back to 20 years. No, we'll go a little further. Let's go back to the 70s or the early 80s. My mom used to send us to the store with like $20. And like if four of us kids went to the store, we all had a bag apiece, and plus two or three others carried another bag. And you ask yourself, well, how did we change so quickly? How did we get to where you can almost feed a family of 5 or 6 on a $30 budget for the week? And if those of you remember back in the day, back in the middle 70s or the early 80s, we were able to do that, right? So what happened? I understand, new products come about, new companies come about, they put their products out there, put it on TV for the average Joe American family to say, oh, I'm going to try this product or whatever, right? But we knew how to budget back then. Did it seem different then, guys? We knew how to budget. My mother, God bless her, that woman could budget a buck. We used to can go to that store, I'm telling you the truth, for like $30 and we could get food for the rest of the week. And we had more than maybe 5 or 8 bags. Because we all were carrying like 1 or 2 bags. But it's just now we look at things and it's like the way we used to live is totally gone. Like I look at the prices of food, and not only food, we're talking about gas bills, light bills, phone bills, because everybody want that instant gratification. And in this day and age, we do need it. We're living in more modern times. We need our phones. But back in the day, your phone was when that night light came on, the street lamp. And if your mother was working and your neighbors were home, they would say, okay, so-and-so kids, y'all know that light is on. Y'all better get y'all but make it home down the street. And people back then were like a village. It took a village really to raise our children. But nowadays, everybody's, don't touch my child. Don't tell my child what to do. You're not their mother or father. But back then we all came together and we gelled together as a community. And you know what, folks? I miss that. Because it was just like, it was so pure and honest. Your mother didn't get mad if somebody tagged her down in the street or waved her down in the street and say, you know what, I saw your child out there doing something they wasn't supposed to do. Or they was out there when that light came on. I told them to make it down the street and they looked at me like, I had 3 heads. And the mother wouldn't get mad at the neighbor. She would say, oh, they did, huh, so-and-so. Okay, I'll get it. Don't worry. Mom would get with you, and then she would make you go down the street and apologize to that neighbor. That's what it was. It was a community. It was an atmosphere. It was like everybody gelled together. We didn't care what color you were. Now, not in my neighborhood. We didn't bother with that. Everybody had a purpose on that street. You had the neighborhood watch. You had the nosy neighbor who was always like, now I saw your child down there. She was talking to these boys. Or I saw your daughter and he was kissing on some girl. But that was okay. We didn't look at it like we wanted to retaliate against them for running off at their mouths, because they was looking out for mom's children when she wasn't able to be there to do it because she had to work to keep a roof over our heads. We didn't have all this cable. You had a couple of channels on that black and white, and you was lucky if your mother could afford a color TV. But honey, with them cartoons, we never knew cartoons looked so good and so clear until my mother got us a color TV. And then everybody was, you had this Saturday where you will watch the Jackson Fives, you will watch Fat Albert and the Kids, you will watch Bananarama. It was just Hanna Barbarian. I'm sorry, talking about Bananarama, a singing group. I used to love them back in the early 90s. But anyway, everybody had a day where you finish your homework, you came home from school and you done your chores, then maybe you could sit down there and watch your favorite show. I used to love to watch The Honeymooners. I love Twilight Zone because I was weird like that. I love things like that. But I'm just saying, going back to my childhood and memories, fun memories, not up here now where you struggling and you got to decide whether I'm going to buy groceries this week or am I going to pay this bill? Now, are we going to have to burn candles this week because I didn't pay the light bill? Or are we going to have a great meal? Or am I going to pay this phone, this cable? Am I going to pay my life insurance? Or can I let it double up for another month? These are the choices, and they're serious choices, folks. And all jokes aside, we have to live up to this. We have to say, which one do I choose? Is anybody else in that dilemma? I know I shop a lot because I'm a shopaholic, but I know to pay my bills. But it's sad that we do have to choose. We have to make that ultimate choice, that sacrifice. Am I going to treat my family to a nice meal today and we go out and eat, or we go see a movie? And hold up, movies, let's not even talk. You can't even afford to go in the movie theater now. By the time you walk in the door and go up to that concession stand, no, you go to the concierge stand first to pay that bill, to pay for that ticket. You're already doggone near $30, $40. Don't take a group with you or two kids. You almost $50 out of pocket. You guys know I'm not lying. Don't let the kids ask for popcorns. My grandkids, I took them to the movie one day. I'm telling you. And this was a couple of years ago. We spent a good $40, $50. And it was just me and two of my granddaughters. So I can imagine what it costs. Now, I've been promising Nyla I was going to take her to the movie. The movie and came and gone. Gabby Dollhouse. I guess we'll get it on DVD. I already put it in my box and my little stock over there on Amazon. But I'm just going to tell you, I know times change and we move into a new millennium and things are different. We got the electric cars now. It's so many different things, that we didn't have when I was coming up. We didn't run around. Our lives did not stop because we didn't have a cell phone. Remember, we used to have them little pages back in the day. And I used to tear my ex-husband page up. He never answered two times. But I'm just saying, things have changed tremendously. And a lot of them have changed for the good because we evolving, we moving on as a society. But a lot of us are held back because some of the newness is coming to us like a shock. Because a lot of us don't know how to deal with it. We're used to having it the way it was back in the day of the old times when we had fun, when we could hang out in the street and you ain't have to worry about nobody trying to pick you up or trying to do harm to you because you was somewhere you wasn't supposed to be. We didn't have all these schools shooting up each other and violence and, oh man, it was totally different. And sometimes I wonder, could our children survive the way we survived back then? Because we made it work and we had fun. We played hopscotch. We played monkey in the middle. We put that little, remember that thing we used to put around our leg? It was a circle and it had a ball going around it and you just jump over it every time it come to your other leg. We played Jack Rocks. I was telling my grandkids about Jack Rocks. They said Jackson Rocks. I said, no, babies. It's Jack Rocks. You had a silver steel ball. Jack is like a rod and it had four springs. And then it was like 12 of them come in a pack or something like that. And then you would throw them on the ground, and then you would take your ball and throw it up. And you had if you was on the twosies, you picked up two dice. I mean, two jacks at a time. And it was just fun. It was just fun then, guys. We didn't have to worry about if we went somewhere that somebody was going to bother us because they figured we was in the wrong neighborhood. Now they got these gangs, and if you don't got certain colors on, you can't come in their neighborhood. It's just crazy. But I just want you to know that I'm looking at life and how it has changed. And me going on 60 in a month and a half, I've really seen it change. But I'm not coming up here to sound negative. I'm just bringing back some days of old to some of you and the fun that we used to have. You know, ice cream truck. Who remember that ice cream truck? Come out, Mama. Remember Eddie Murphy? Mama, ice cream truck is out. You used to go crazy. You could get the whole neighborhood ice creams for $2. But it could be 8 kids out there. By the time you finish, you only paid $2. But now you go to the store for a half a gallon, it's charging you $9. But I'm just saying life has changed. And, we do have to move forward. We have to go into the future. But I miss the old days. Who missed them with me? I miss the old days. Remember the quick mix we used to have with the little rabbit on it? They still sell it, but it don't serve the same purpose. When mommy came from food shopping and she had that little yellow can with that brown bunny rabbit on it with that straw, child, you knew it was gonna be happy days. Oh man, it was just so much fun back then. It wasn't as bad as it is now. And sometimes I long for those good old days, guys. But it's good that God keep me in my mind where I can think about him sometime and I can reminisce. It's sad sometimes you do wish you can go back in time. Has anybody ever thought like that before? Where we didn't have the bills and mom and dad didn't have it? Or if you came from a single household like me, mom didn't have it and you knew what we have our little nights where we had our treats. But you knew not to even ask because she didn't have it. But she made a way for the little bit that we did have. She made it stretch a long way. And we didn't want for nothing. And you could go downtown and put the kids' clothes on layaway back in the day. And everybody came out for school day with their brand new sneakers on, their pro kids, and they had on their little bottles, whatever you call them, knickerbockers, and the nice little tight fitting and the jeanie pants, and then the nice little tight fitting polyester shirts that zip up at the neckline. Oh man, who could remember that? It was just, we had stores like Murray Steaks and go downtown. We used to go to Two Guys and McCory's downtown Newark on Broad Street. We had it was so many. We had the Wiz down there. When I had started working after I had my son, I was doing little home health aid work and working for this company called Patient Care. And every Friday when I used to get paid, I used to run downtown to the Wiz because I used to work up in Hackensack, New Jersey, and Lodi, Garfield, and I used to take the bus home. So the bus had to drop me off to downtown Newark to get on a bus to go uptown to my house in Newark. And that was my thing, running to that Wiz record store and getting my new albums, LL Cool J, Houdini. Um, oh my God, it was so many of them. And then I used to listen to my Light FM. I loved my light music and listening to, I was diverse with my music. But it was just so much fun, man, back then. Then we had the rappers out in the 80s and they would battle rap each other. You ain't have to worry about nobody bang, bang, shoot them up because, they felt like you was stealing they music or, you tried to sound like them and it was a turf war. It wasn't that. They just went up there and they bounced about and talked about how they grew up, and it was just so different. I learned so much from them, and I yearned for the days of old. I want it back. Who want it back? I know I do. I miss it. I miss that life. You could go to the store, have 25 cents. You got two bags of candy when you come out the store. Everything was cheaper. Riding the bus was like 10 cents, 25 cents, 50 cents. But it's good to reminisce sometime. Happy Faithful Friday, guys. I just was in an old nostalgic mood. Who can relate?